Hey everyone, this is my LastCraft survival iceberg video that I've compiled from a lot of different sources off the internet, specifically Reddit and Discord. Now, I will be giving the people credit who have helped me gather these resources at the end of the video. So let me get into it. Now, this is the iceberg that I've compiled. Some of it I've found pretty confusing as I couldn't find much or really any information off from one of the sources that I were given. So, yeah, some of these will not have great explanations, but it's really the only one that will be on YouTube, so here it goes. Unused enemies slash NPCs. Now, this refers to the countless amounts of concept art that was made by the developers of LastCraft that a lot of the concept art was never put into fruition. And especially there was a clown zombie that was meant to be put in the game, which I'll be explaining on further. Locked map locations. Now, this is talking about a bunch of the map locations that were supposedly available on the map, but you couldn't drive to any of them because you required a truck upgrade, which was never available in the first place. There was no truck upgrade after just repairing it in the story mode. So, yeah, it kind of sucked seeing all of them because a lot of them looked really cool. I mean, they didn't have any art, but they did have a unique name to them. So, assuming and using your imagination, you could imagine, oh, the command center. It could have been a really cool place where you meet the government and get to talk to them. And yeah, power armor. Now, the power armor was a suit that it had quite a lot of work put into it. I mean, there is a full animation for you getting into it, and there is the crafting resource, like art made for it, but you can never obtain the resources and you could never actually use it, which is too bad because it actually looked like a really cool piece of armor that you could wield. It kind of reminds me of the T-45 power armor from the Fallout series, but no one in Cubic Games ever really finished anything on LastCraft, so yeah, it kind of stayed as that. Laser weapons. Now, I did hear about laser weapons being on, or at least supposedly craftable on LastCraft. I saw it on a forum on a different website. I couldn't find it when I went back for it, but I still put it on the iceberg because I still thought, hey, maybe, someone may come up with some information about it that I could talk about eventually. But there was only a crafting bench that I could really think of, but the guy who sent me the photo of it, he didn't really know what it was used for, so it could have been used for the laser weapons, but no one really knows. So, circus. Now, the circus was a PvE map that was meant for um, it was for a game mode that was added a little bit before the game was deleted, and it was meant to be added into the game. The developers did put work into it, and they actually did make a full model of the map. And I think they did make a zombie for it. It may have originally been created to be a map that you can go into to harvest resources or whatever, but it never saw the light of day outside of a Twitter post. Clan system. Now, the clan system was a game mode that you would see on the top of your screen when you'd be playing LastCraft. That was kind of if you click on it, it would send you to an arena so you could fight other players for God knows what. I don't remember what it was. I did play it a couple times, but there never was anyone that would actually like I would go against. So, yeah. It wasn't really much in my opinion. It was kind of just fight people, just like the arena where you'd get dog tags from. But instead of getting dog tags, I think you would get other rewards. But yeah, Andy's room. Now, Andy's room was a cut piece of um, PvE map. Uh, I don't really know what they were kind of planning on doing with it. I think it was kind of a file that got mixed up with LastCraft that was supposed to be in the Pixel Gun 3D video game. So yeah, I think they got it mixed up. There was also an Iron Man skin for the players that they could wear, which in my opinion you could fit the Iron Man skin, into the game, but you really can't fit in the Andy's room, or at least it's supposedly looks like Andy's room. It's not. I don't think it is supposed to be it, but that's what the guy who sent it to me said it was. So yeah, I don't really know what they were kind of planning on it, but they obviously weren't really. It wasn't really a good idea in my opinion. Chinese hackers. Now, apparently, there's a little bit of lore, like on this one Minecraft server called 2b2t, that involves a little bit of hackers. And these Chinese hackers were part of a group called NGA, which, if I were to actually say it, it would sound like the N word, so I'm not going to say it. But apparently, they hacked the game and kind of just fucked with people a lot to the point where a lot of people quit the game because of them and was a really big, well, not really big, but it was a big reason why a lot of the community left and a lot of the developers kind of just quit on the game because the Chinese hackers did a lot and it was really annoying for everyone to just deal with. There was also a YouTube series, kind of, well, a YouTuber that goes over them in more detail than I do. But the gist is, it's kind of like they were just trolls trolling, being annoying. So that's really all I can say on it. I don't know much against it, but from what I can see on some YouTube videos, is that the Chinese hackers were just really annoying. Player homes. Now, this is referring to the player homes that kept getting switched around a lot during when the game was alive. And it kind of went through a couple stages between a originally it was a settlement that you come across to well another settlement that you come across, but instead of there already being a foundation, it's just a clear plot of land that you build on over time, well throughout the story. But then it kind of just cut to a bunker, so you kind of just stayed in the bunker that you kind of spawned in the first place, except it was 100 times bigger and it had way more workstations. Also, about those workstations is that half of them did not work. Now, what I mean by they didn't work is that a lot of them didn't have the resources that you could actually obtain in the game. A lot of the resources, they were kind of just put there and they never had any models or blocks that you could harvest them from, and especially the weapons and the armor. Except for the power armor, but that's a whole different thing I already talked about. Booga. I don't know anything about Booga. I looked everywhere. I tried even asking the guys, but they never responded on any of it. So I'm just gonna say it's lost media. I think they kind of just put that there for no reason because the people that I was asking, they said, "Oh, put this in there." But I didn't find any information on it and they didn't provide me with any information on it, so that's why. Stolen assets. There was a little bit of technically stolen assets. Basically, they just copied the design, like a shitty like Chinese remake of something. So this ranges from the Vault Dweller suit to some of the gun models. A couple of them were known to be from Rust, and I know this one item, I think it was the water chip, that is basically the same as the water chip from Fallout 1. Deploy file. So this was asked by one of the guys who helped me get the information for this video. He asked me for uh, a deploy file for anyone who has played the game before 2023 and to say to check their Android, data, then game folder, then files, cache, and then for look for deploy file. I kind of don't really know much about coding, but yeah, if y'all can ever find any information about it or a deploy file for him, there's his Discord. So Microsoft old Azure server. So this was a server that was made by a guy named Sebastian, who's a part of the Slums. He was a strong player who, with another guy named Cloud and another guy named Phoenix, built a custom server, almost like how they're making a custom server right now as this video is being published. But Microsoft Azure, it got closed because it cost a lot of money to hold up a server like that. So sadly, it's no longer up. There were a lot of updates apparently that changed the story in the game. For example, at the start, you lived in a camp with buildings, and the start shelter was small. So it had a couple changes made by the community and the people who own the servers, but other than that, there, from what I know, there isn't much difference from it. Jesus, this video is taking me forever. Um, so this video is taking me about like 3 days to make and edit. I've had a lot of work to do before. I've just been moving a lot of stuff in my room, kind of going out places, just doing stuff, kind of living my life. Um, so yeah, sorry to the this one guy that has actually been quite excited to for the video. So yeah, um, I am I am surprised I was actually going to make a second video on my YouTube channel. I thought it was going to be like a one and done type of thing. I don't know if I'm going to be making any more videos on LastCraft. When they release the game, I'm probably going to make a couple more, but for right now, I'm not really looking to make YouTube videos about it anymore. Because this is the most amount of like information that most amount of stuff I can really get off of it. I mean, really, I can't get uh, there's not a lot of information on the game, and the game itself is pretty small as it is a mobile game. But I do really like it that the lore, well, not the lore, but a lot of the stuff, with the community, it goes really deep. So I'm just glad that I was able to actually start making a couple YouTube videos based off of it. But eventually I will be branching off to other things. Let me get into the last one now, thank God. Bethesda sued LastCraft. So I meant to put Cubic Games, not LastCraft, but this was a conspiracy theory that I kind of came up with because seeing how a lot of game developers or even game companies that sit on their IPs, they like to sue, from what I know and what I've seen, is they like to sue a lot of other game companies that like even remotely use like or even just say that they're inspired by other games. So and plus a lot of the stuff in Lastcraft, it did seem like it was kind of just stolen assets. I mean, like uh the Vault Dweller suit that I was talking about earlier and the water chip and especially the laser weapons, which I did not put in the video. I didn't find until after I got to the end of the video, but here's a photo of it right now. I did not realize how like just much they kind of stole from Fallout. They really just copied it entirely. Like that laser pistol literally looks like the laser pistol from Fallout. You cannot tell me it doesn't. And then there's also uh f- the fact that Lastcraft in its like game description, I remember seeing it a couple years ago, is that it said like this is a game inspired by Fallout, and it's like, dude, you I'm surprised you're not getting sued right now. So I kind of just came up with that theory because I really like conspiracy theories and stuff, and I've always wanted to make my own, so this is my own. Uh, I don't see any information on it. They probably did it in secret, so they wouldn't get embarrassed or whatever. And yeah, I don't really know, but it's just something I kind of came up with. Also, I wouldn't actually be surprised if it was real because Lastcraft, they did have a lot of stuff that was coming. Like they were still adding in new items and changing a lot of stuff. They just never actually fully finished the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the actual case. So see you guys. This has been a long video for me to make. So thank you all for watching. Also, I would like to thank the Bro MK2 and Lastcraft Enjoyer. They have given me so much information about this. Actually, the whole iceberg wouldn't even be a thing without them because I had barely two things to go off of in the iceberg. I had the stolen assets and the Bethesda one. Well, basically the top iceberg and the stolen assets one. That was really it. Um, so big thanks to them. Please, I know Lastcraft Enjoyer actually has his own YouTube channel, so I will be linking it in the description. So please go watch his videos. Um, yeah, just huge thanks to them. I really do appreciate it, both of you guys, if you guys are watching this video right now. So yeah, goodbye.